Hi guys, today I'll be doing a Shay Mitchell inspired hair and makeup tutorial. If you guys want to know how to get this look, just keep watching. So because I'm incorporating my hair today, I decided to freshly wash it and have a nice shower just to give you guys the whole shindig. And I'll be using my Caudalie Huile Divine Oil, and I'll be placing that all over my hair by just scrunching it in and really blending it into my hair so it won't be super frizzy. And then I'm going to go in with my Olay Complete Moisturizer for my face, and I'll be just applying that with my fingertips to get started before we do any sort of foundation and concealers. I'm also going to prep my lips with my Rosebud Salve lip balm, and then to start off the eyes, I'm going to take my NARS Creamy Concealer in Custard and just apply that on my eyelid just to get rid of the discoloration, and I'm just using a Real Techniques brush to blend that in evenly. To start off with the transition shade, I'm just going to go in with this Neutral Brown by NYX. It's a matte color. You can go ahead and use any sort of neutral matte brown. And this is just going to be the base and our transition shade for when we start applying other darker shades of brown on our lid. It just gives an even base. The next color I'm going to use is Sultry. It's just a warm toned matte brown, and taking my NYX crease brush, my blending brush, it's brand new and I love it. I'm just going to be blending this on the crease of my eyelid and just not being afraid to let it blend onto the lower part of my eyelid. I just really want this all blended out, so feel free to blend it out in circular motions. I find that the most effective. I'm going to be going in with the color Cashmere Bunny. It's literally a few tones darker than the other brown that we used, and I'm taking my Real Techniques brush and applying this in the outer corner of my eye and my crease and the inner corner of my crease, and this is what's going to give us a really nice cat eye looking shape that Shay Mitchell has. Next, I'm going in with my Ofra Single Shadow in the color Bliss, and I'm just going to use this in the middle of my eyelid just to kind of brighten up the eye, and it's just going to be the base for the glitter that I'll be placing on my lid. It's super pigmented, and I've really liked using this brand lately. For the fun part, I'm going to use my NYX Roll-On Shimmer in the color Almond, and because this glitter doesn't actually stay on the eyelid on its own, I mixed some eye drops on my brush and started applying the pigment on that way so it would stay and last longer throughout the day, because I tried it the first time and none of the glitter stayed, and which is really unfortunate because the colors are beautiful. So I decided to just use eye drops as a sticky sort of solution for the glitter to stay. You can also use Max Fix Plus if you also have that. For the face, I'm just going to use my Becca Backlit Primer as per usual, and I'm pretty much done this primer so I didn't want to show it. And then I'm going to be going in with my Maybelline Matte and Poreless in the color 220, and it's more of like an olive tone, and I'm going to mix it with my Josie Meringue Illuminating Argan Illuminizer, and that's just going to give that sort of Shay Mitchell glow, and it's super easy. So if you ever have some sort of dull foundation and want to just kind of spice it up a bit, just add some illuminizer, some liquid illuminizer for that matter. To conceal, I'm going to use my NARS Creamy Concealer, of course, in Custard, and I'm just going to place it underneath my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, around my nose, my Cupid's bow, and my chin, and these are just the basic highlighting areas, so nothing too fancy, and just some spot concealing. I'm going to go in with my Caudalie Beauty Elixir, and I like to mix this product onto my beauty blender just to blend out my concealer or even my foundation, because it makes your skin feel more dewy and fresh, and it smells absolutely amazing. For brows, I'm just going to use my NYX Control Freak Eyebrow Gel, and first I'm just going to use a spoolie and just brush out my eyebrows because I haven't really been filling them in. I feel like they're at a decent sort of thickness and consistency, so I just like to keep my eyebrows as natural as possible, so I just comb them and set them in place. To set the concealer, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier Translucent Powder on a fluffy brush and just place it in the areas where my concealer is, just to keep everything in place and so nothing gets super dewy and oily in my T-zone. For bronzer, I'm going with my Ofra Versatile Matte Bronzer, and this is a hyperallergenic bronzer, and not only that, it is very versatile. This is such a good bronzer. I know I've been using my Laura Mercier, but for a matte bronzer, this stuff is amazing. As you can see, it blends really, really well with my skin tone, and I feel like it could blend well with any skin tone, and I'm just going to town with it. So since Shay Mitchell is so tan and so nicely contoured, I'm doing an all-over contour with my bronzing brush as per usual, and just making sure I'm emphasizing the bone structure of my face. With that bronzer, I'm also just contouring my nose, because in the photo that I am referencing, her nose and just like features of her face are very nicely contoured. So I'm just going to take my NYX crease blending brush and just blend that contour a bit, and also using my beauty blender to make sure it's not super harsh as well. For highlight, I'm going to go in with my Ofra highlight in You Do You, and this is such a beautiful rose gold highlighter, and I'm using my Real Techniques contour brush actually to place this on the high points of my cheekbones and the bridge of my nose. I also use it to highlight parts of my face, like my eyes and my inner corner of my eyes, as well as my cupid's bow, as you'll see. So I'm just doing this blending technique, which is very light. I'm not pressing too hard against the skin because I want everything to blend very well. So if you have a nicer, better brush, feel free, but I find this brush, even though it's meant to contour, I use it to highlight, and I think it does the job really, really well. As you can see, I'm using that same highlighter just underneath my brow bone. I find this such a cool way to tie the look together instead of using a separate sort of highlighter. And I'm also going to place it in my inner corners. I find that always super important. I usually never leave the house without highlighting my inner corners. And then I'm going to go in with another Real Techniques brush. It's more of like a contour brush, and I'm using that to place Cashmere Bunny, the darker brown that we used, underneath my lower lash line to define it and tie it all together. And then I'm also going to go in with any sort of black eyeshadow. I'm using one from my Nude palette, and I'm using an angled brush just to create some sort of definition on my upper lash line, because Shay Mitchell really does like to use smudged out smoky eyeliners all over and all around her eyes. So this is a cool way to just kind of make it easier for you if you guys don't like using pencils or gels or pens. So I like to do this, and it's easy to smudge and make it sort of smoky, and I'm literally just putting this on the outer corner of my eyelid, so it's just kind of like halfway, so you don't need to really go full force with this eyeliner look. It's very, very easy. For eyeliner, I'm just using a Marc Jacobs eyeliner in black. You can use any sort of black eyeliner you'd like. I just had this one on hand, and this one is actually okay. I felt like I could have done a better eyeliner. So if you guys have any sort of eyeliner pencil recommendations, please leave them in the comments box below, because I want one that's a little more heavier on the eyes, something that's more pigmented, but this is all I had at the moment. And I'm going to take that black eyeshadow I was using before on that same angled brush and just kind of smoke it out and push out the eyeliner that I used in my waterline, just to make it a little more thicker, a little more dense, just like Shay Mitchell's. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes. I don't really like using fake lashes anymore, so I like to just emphasize the real. And I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara in Blackest Black. And this is actually the not waterproof one, and I know I complained about the waterproof one beforehand, but now that I have the non-waterproof one, I suggest that you guys buy the waterproof one, even though it is a little bit of a pain to get off the face at night. It is so worth it because it just does not leak at all during the day, whereas this one does, but it still does a really, really good job. It still makes my lashes look super long, super thick, and slightly spidery, which kind of freaks me out. So Shay Mitchell had a pinky nude lip, so I'm going to go in with my Buxom lipstick in Sinful. It's the mini 100-point perk version, and I'm totally going to buy the full one once this one's done. And I'm just going to place this on my lips. It's kind of matte and creamy at the same time, which is exactly what I need for my lips. She also had some sort of a shine in the middle of her lips, so I'm just taking my L'Oreal Paris lip gloss in the color 60 and just applying that in the middle of my lips just to kind of highlight it a bit. Moving on to my hair, so as you can see, it did not dry as much while I was doing my makeup, which I kind of figured because I have layers and layers of hair. So I'm just going to apply some of my heat protectant spray by Tresemme before I start anything. And if you guys have recommendations for heat protectants, please let me know down below. I'm just going to evenly distribute this with my fingers all over my hair. And then, of course, I'm going to have to blow dry my hair, which is not something I'm a big fan of, as you can tell. But what needs to be done needs to be done. So I'm just going to quickly blow dry my hair for you guys. And you're going to see a beast come out, that's for sure. So this is what my mane looks like after it's blow dried. It's really, really voluminous, so I may not get the flatness of Shay Mitchell's hair, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to take my Numi curler. It's the 28mm curler that I'll be using. I totally forget to show it on here, but you guys get a glimpse of it. So I like to brush out layers of my hair instead of doing the whole head of my hair because I feel it gives me less breakage because I have so much hair. And what I'm doing, I'm just wrapping roughly 2-inch pieces of hair around the 28mm wand and holding it for roughly 5 to 10 seconds depending on how big the piece is, and then I just let it fall. So I don't pin it or anything because I want loose sort of waves instead of tight curls. So I just kind of let it fall like that, and I basically do that all around my head, pulling away from the face. So I don't like to curl inwards. I just find my face too small for that, so I'm going to curl outwards all around and all throughout my head. To set my hair in place, I'm just going to go in with my Pantene Air Spray. So this is an alcohol-free hairspray, and it's very, very light. I've never been a big fan of heavy hairsprays, so this is absolutely perfect. This is what I need. I can't feel it at all, but it still does its job by keeping my hair in place. And then I'm going to use a soothing serum by Biolage, and I'm just putting that all over my hair just to get rid of all the frizz, because that is obviously evident with my colored hair. And that's the finished look, guys. I hope you really like it. I will leave all my social media in the description box below. Feel free to check that all out, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!